Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing really well. Today I have filled up the Empties container, which means it's time to ramble through all of the products I finished up, share with you whether I would recommend them or not, what were my final thoughts, and whether or not I would recommend them to add to your collection no matter. There's all sorts here, from candles, hair care, a bit of beauty stuff. God knows, it's a bit of a mixed bag this time. If you are new here, I do these empties every time this container gets filled. I haven't filmed an empties in quite a while, so there's quite a bit of variety in here. I just love doing these videos. They're old school, but they're just so informative to help understand what people really thought of products. On my channel, I do tons of first impressions. I do tons of hair care videos where I share with you kind of first thoughts and whether or not I would recommend it based on first use. Whereas this is a great opportunity to use products up and share with you if that opinion has changed. So with that said and done, let's dive straight into this video. So I can immediately see two candles at the top here, so I'll just share with you what ones these were. This was a Winnie the Pooh honey blossom scented candle. I remember this one was from Asda. It was okay, but the thing with this is it was so smoky. I actually set off my fire alarm when I blew it out, which you can imagine is not fun to navigate when it was like, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night, a baby, a child and a puppy all asleep. So that was less fun, so just be warned if you are thinking about picking it up. But I'm a sucker for like Disney cutesy stuff, and so I had this one. I probably wouldn't buy it again, to be fair, because of the smoky issue. Next up is a lime breeze scented candle. I believe I got this for my birthday because I don't remember picking this up, and I think it is from Sainsbury's if I had to guess, because I love the Yankee Candle vanilla lime fragrance. It is one of my favorite candles, always has been for a really long time, and so this was bought with the intent of that being similar. It was a very subtle fragrance. I do love lime products, and often with supermarket own kind of branded candles, they are a lot more subtle than of course like a branded name one. So it didn't blow anything out of the water, but that said, it was nice enough just to have a nice gentle fragrance without going too crazy. So that's what this one was, and to be fair, I quite like the glass of this, so I'm going to try my best to get the wax out. God knows what I'll do with it, but I quite like the glass, so if I can upcycle that in any way, I probably will. Okay, there's tons of hair care, as you can probably imagine, because I test so much hair care on this channel in my life that naturally I try to use up as much as I possibly can. So let me try and dive through all of those just so they're at least all together, and you know you can kind of skip ahead if you're not too interested. The first product is this L'Occitane shampoo. I always get told that I pronounce that wrong. I think it's L'Occitane, but I've always said it in the same way, and so it just doesn't come naturally to me. I think it's how my mum said it, and so that's why I say it the way I do. I appreciate the fact it might be wrong, but that's just, you know, that's how I say it. So this is the Purifying Freshness shampoo. I have done a video all about this and probably most of the hair care products I'm going to talk about. The reason being is that this is the best product if you find that you get greasy hair really quickly. I'm someone that often can get greasy hair. I always try and find products that complement that, but I of course use a lot of moisture in my hair, and so it's finding the balance of making sure my hair maintains moisturize. I don't mind washing it more frequently if it means that my hair is looked after well. That's one of the misconceptions, that people think that to get healthy hair you wash it less. However, in some instances that dries your hair out and does more damage. But if you genuinely suffer from really greasy, oily hair, you've tried everything in the world to try and help it, you can't work out why that is, it's just naturally the way that you are, maybe genetics, I would recommend giving this and the conditioner a go. I've already finished off the conditioner, strangely. I actually had some of the shampoo left, and I love this so much. See, such a big difference, and it's rare for me to say that because A, I try so many shampoo and conditioners, Generally, unless it amazes me, they perform very similar, but this one I noticed immediate results in terms of holding back the grease and the oil and actually making my hair feel fresh for longer. And if you are trying to wash your hair less and you want products that are going to complement and make sure your hair doesn't get greasy as quickly as you're used to, give these a go. Because of the brands, they are slightly more expensive, they're not the cheapest out there. However, for me, they were worth their weight in gold. I'm definitely going to repurchase these for just times where I know like I'm not going to be able to wash my hair as frequently, or if I know that I want to get an extra hair wash day, or find that my hair's getting greasier more so than normal. It's great to have these in your collection. And I'm someone that also typically changes my hair care depending on what I need at the time. So if I'm particularly greasy at one instance and want something that's going to help rectify that, this is a great choice. So next up is this from Plex. And so again, I did a video on this really ages ago, and I'm in a bit of a process of trying to use everything that I have in my collection as much as I possibly can, whilst I'm kind of navigating having a baby and just trying to use what I have and trying not to buy anything in too much excess. The amount of hair care I have is ridiculous, and so using it up can be quite difficult. So it was nice to revisit a product that I actually hadn't used for a little while. This was their part 2, so this was their bond repairing treatment. However, the way that this works is that this kind of works like Olaplex number 0, where you put this on your hair before the Plex mask, which is branded very similar to Olaplex number 3. And so this is almost like the pre-mask treatment in this exactly the same way that Olaplex does it. And I love this 2-step routine. It's such an affordable dupe, and so many companies, especially nowadays, are trying to like dupe Olaplex, come up with their own system that replicates it, but it's branded to themselves, want you to buy it to save money. This for me was like the OG dupe. It's from Knight & Wilson, and I really enjoyed the system. I enjoyed it way back when, and ever since I've tried so many dupe products, ones that are claiming to be just as good. And actually I think that this is still one of the best contenders for an Olaplex dupe if you're genuinely looking to save money but still want great results and don't want to compromise on the actual bond repairing qualities that those types of products provide. A lot just say that they're bond repairing and don't prove that fact, and actually it's just like a visible difference as opposed to genuinely rectifying your hair. Whereas these are fantastic. I really like the 2-step system. I like the Olaplex counterparts too. However, where you can save money and get great results, I really recommend to do so. So yeah, Knight & Wilson is definitely a hair care brand to watch out for. You don't see much about them, and it's such a shame because they are a really great affordable like brand within the product space. Another hair care product I've used up is the Umberto Giannini Smooth Dew. So this is their own take on lamella water. I've done again a whole video about this, and it was okay. I just have lamella waters that I prefer. I love the Garnier ones, I love the L'Oreal ones, and so any that are more than £5 hurt my soul a little bit, because I've mentioned this in lots of different videos where I've tried these products specifically. But genuinely, no matter whether you pay a lot or a little for a lamella water, they all act in a very similar way. And so I personally think with that in mind, it's better to buy something that's more affordable, and then you can have it in your collection more so than something that's a bit more expensive. So it worked well. It was a nice experience. I enjoyed using it up, but I wouldn't repurchase it, not only for all of the reasons I've explained, but also I have so many lamella waters in my collection ready to use up that personally I don't need an extra one in my collection. But definitely a great kind of product to have if you don't already have one, because it just adds such a gorgeous like glass-like finish to your hair. It's so glossy, it makes it look so healthy, and the benefit of these products is that it takes seconds to activate and work. So if you're someone that loves gorgeous looking hair, super sleek, super like fresh and healthy, but don't have time to put a hair mask on or an overnight treatment or pre-oil treatment or anything like that, these are a great alternative to doing something like that. So really recommend. And yeah, I won't repurchase this one specifically, but not to say I didn't enjoy it, just got alternatives I prefer. So we did touch base on Olaplex from Knight & Wilson, and I've genuinely finished off an actual Olaplex product, and this surprised me because this was their number 7 Bond Protector Nourishing Hair Serum. And so when I first basically reviewed this, there was no information neither on the packaging or on relevant websites to say this was a heat protection. And so for me, I was a little bit disappointed because I was like, it has everything I want in a product. It is amazing, it gives amazing results, it's just missing heat protection. However, since then, all of those comms, especially online, have changed. Obviously, my product still doesn't say that it protects from heat, but online it does. And so I don't know whether that was genuinely a change in formula or that messaging just wasn't included where maybe it should have been. However, knowing that, I therefore use this tons. And this was one of my go-to heat protections for a really long time because of that reason. This smoothed my hair beautifully. It was so nice to add in. It added so many gorgeous benefits. It's nice to know it had Olaplex within it so that it was repairing my bonds as well. But it was an antioxidant rich serum that improved manageability, smooths and protects for all hair types, and I absolutely completely agree with all of those claims. It worked so well for me, and this is a product that I probably will have to repurchase because I've missed having it in my collection so bad. It's so easy to use. I use this fresh out of the shower. Once I've washed my hair, I would put a little bit on, put it through my hair before I do any styling, and even if I let my hair air dry, I noticed a big difference in smoothness when using this compared to not using a product like this. So that for me meant that I went back to this time and time again, and whilst my initial review video of this was actually filmed a really long time ago, I used this relatively quickly when I decided to continue using it frequently, if that makes sense. So yeah, I would repurchase this. It's genuinely a little bit expensive because it's Olaplex. However, tons of websites now do loads of like deals and offers on Olaplex, so you can often get quite a good deal if you shop around, and so I would really recommend to do that. And so I would definitely not be without this. I love it and really recommend it. And I think this is the last hair care product, and in a very similar vein to the Olaplex one, I also finished off the Beauty Works 10-in-1 Miracle Spray. And so I mentioned that whilst I've been on maternity leave, I've just ditched the heat completely on my hair. However, I still like having these products that are multi-purpose, and so even when I've used the Olaplex one, I still really enjoy all of the benefits. If I do use heat, I say ditch the heat. I've used it very, very rarely. However, if I have used it, I want to make sure my hair is thoroughly protected. And so the Olaplex was amazing, and the Beauty Works likewise. It just worked so well. Wasn't just a heat protection, it just served so many purposes. This one specifically is a 10-in-1. It eliminates frizz, restores shine, nourishes, replenishes oils, protects from heat, detangles, conditions, prevents split ends, enhances natural body, and repairs dry, damaged hair. So lots and lots of amazing benefits. My 2 cents on this, would I repurchase? The only thing is I don't think I will. The only reason being is that it was just quite heavy on my hair, and so when I sprayed it, you have to be really careful to like really vigilantly spray it evenly across all areas, otherwise it can get quite greasy. Before you use it, give it a thorough shake. I found that that was essential to make sure that it didn't leave almost like a film on my hair. Without shaking it, it did look more greasy than when you did shake it, so that's something to bear in mind. However, I feel like I've tried better all-purpose sprays of this nature, and so with that in mind, I won't repurchase this one. However, I did get through it, and this is huge actually, 250 ml. So I liked it enough to continue using it. It's one of those, I get in the habit of using products like this really often, and so yeah, it's okay, but there's definitely better heat protection and multi-purpose heat protection sprays on the market, and you could probably save some money because this one was probably one of the more expensive ones I've tried when I look back over the last year. I did lie, there is one final hair care product. I'm sure this is the last one, and this is the Aloe Vera from Dr. Santi, their conditioner. And again, I've done videos on all of these, and so if you want to check out those, definitely do so, because this is a super affordable brand. And Dr. Santi is a brand that I don't hear much about in the hair care space. I've been making videos for a really long time, and they don't get near enough credit to what they deserve. Super affordable, but not only that, they work so well. They're so refreshing on the hair, work incredibly to give healthy looking results, but also make your hair feel incredible in the process as well. And so for this to be a really great conditioner, obviously I've used it up, which is, I always say, a testament to how much I've enjoyed a product, because I've got tons of shampoo and conditioners that I've got to use up and try. But I went back to this because it was really refreshing. It worked well on my hair, it hydrated it well, it gave great results, super glossy. This has been a really great one, especially a great one where sometimes I've not had as much time to do like the full hog hair care routine. So I do want a routine that I know is going to give me really great results, and this and the shampoo definitely did so. And so I really liked it. It says it's for all hair types, and I really believe that to be the case. it's so affordable as well. Everything from Dr. Santi I've tried, I've loved, but equally I want to try it so much more because I've been so impressed with the way that all of the results end up being, and as mentioned, it just doesn't get enough hype. And so hopefully I can speak from the rooftops and just encourage you all to have a little look at their products. I'm not necessarily saying to purchase something, but it's definitely worth seeing if they've got something that matches your hair goals or your hair needs and giving them a try, because as mentioned, I try so many hair care products. It's so hard to list out the best versions because I've tried so much. However, this is a brand that really stood out to me as being budget friendly, but whilst delivering great results and having great ingredients. And so really, what more can you want? A lot of us want things that are great quality at a low price. And so yeah, for that reason, definitely give these guys a look over, and I can't wait to try more. If you have tried anything from them, let me know what that is, because yeah, I want some more recommendations. Okay, so all the different miscellaneous things, there are tons of different things. 2 Garnier summer bodies. I love wearing this tan. I've mentioned it so many times before, so I'm not going to repeat myself too much. However, this is my go-to gradual tanner. I much prefer these than ones you put on, leave overnight. I've got the tan on now, and it just gives me a really healthy glow without being too dark. These ones are actually the dark ones. I feel like I used to buy the medium or the light ones, and I feel like they just got lighter and lighter in time. So I gravitated towards the dark, and as you can tell, I'm naturally fairly pale, and it's not a dark result. I think if you like a really dark tan, you'll probably want to layer this up multiple times. However, for me, this is a 1-layer job, and I think it just serves me really well. Gives the appearance that we've got some sunshine when maybe we don't. And so yeah, these are my go-to, super efficient to use, super easy. Great if you are working around children, or you know, being able to have a shower in a morning to wash off a tan is a luxury you don't realize that you lose until you have kids. And so the ease of just getting out of the shower and essentially moisturizing with these, but it leaves a really healthy glow, is just a winner in my books, and so love that. Next up, we have a couple of pregnancy products that I didn't quite finish when it came to the end of pregnancy, and so where I've just kind of decided to use 2 of them up, and one of them went really bad, and so I decided that today is the day to get rid of it. So let me talk first of all about this product. So this is from Palmer's, and this is their Stretch Mark massage lotion, but it's just essentially a body lotion that you put all over your skin if you feel like that you're struggling with stretch marks. Or for me, I remembered that in my first pregnancy, you can't prevent stretch marks. I feel like if you're going to get them, you're going to get them no matter how much money you spend on all of the lotions and the potions. I bought this and discovered a different brand, which I'm going to talk about before, and therefore didn't touch this. Because of that, the product inside has gone really weird. This bit has fallen off in there, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel the best. And when I put this on my skin, if I rubbed it in as I would like to, especially when I was like most heavily pregnant, it kind of balled up, and I just didn't like that experience. I wanted something that was super moisturizing but would just sink into the skin effortlessly. So I'm going to be getting rid of this because I have used some of it. I don't know anyone to pass it on to that's pregnant, and you can't do much else with it. And so yeah, Palmer's was a brand that I used tons in my first pregnancy, but just didn't like the second time around. And so let me talk to you about the brand that I did love. It is the brand Mama Mio. And so I actually first bought this tummy rub oil. I finished one off very early in pregnancy. I bought that from TK Maxx. It was like £9, and I think the RRP of these, whether it's inflated because TK Maxx wants you to think that it's more expensive than it really is, said it was £35. So I picked it up initially just in case of, oh, it's good to have something in my collection, see how I get on, might not use it, it's there if I need it. Ended up repurchasing this about 3 or 4 times because I loved it so much. There's probably going to be more that I feature in upcoming videos, because even though I'm not pregnant anymore, it's been a really nice oil to basically smother all of my body, feel hydrated, and also help elasticity, because you lose tons of that after you have a baby. And so it's great to have things that are just super moisturizing. Like I said, stretch marks, I don't think it made too much of a difference. It definitely helped me not get as many stretch marks a second time around, but that's probably because I was already stretched from the first time. And so maybe if I didn't have any stretch marks the first time, could they have appeared the second time? Who knows? I think it's really down to genetics. But when it came to just the experience of feeling moisturized and my bump at the time of pregnancy feeling really hydrated, this made a big difference. I loved using it and it sunk right into the skin. So this was a tummy rub oil, which I absolutely loved and repurchased tons of time. And then I also used the Mega Mama Shower Milk, and so I used all but like a tiny bit of this. So I used the last of it up the other day just so I could talk about it. It's a shame I didn't feature this a few months ago when I was using it more on a habit basis, but again, this was just a really nice nourishing cleanser for your body. When I was in the bath, more specifically, I would take this and just like really rub it into my bump and like my thighs and my boobs, anything that would get larger because of pregnancy. I always wanted to make sure I kept super hydrated because sometimes I did neglect that the first time, and so this brand generally was amazing. I really recommend it for anyone that's pregnant, but equally if you're looking for something that's super hydrating, even if you're like postpartum, I would definitely recommend them because I've loved them. We have got two more of the same product, the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I still have, I think, 2 upstairs because I bought these in a bit of a bulk session before I had a baby because I didn't want to be without them, but I also wanted to stock up on things that I knew were my favourites so that when maternity leave started, I knew I wouldn't have to spend money on like makeup and things that maybe I would then not buy myself when the time came. So that's probably why I've used 2 up. I love this primer so much. I've again talked about it in the past, but for me this is the best dupe of the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I tried that initially and loved it. Bought this on a bit of a whim because everyone was saying it was similar. I fully expected it not to be as good and actually found it to be just as good, which is amazing because this is like a third of the price, and so where we can save money, we love to do that. Used up 2 more recently, and I really recommend this to anyone that either has oily skin, wants something to really grip makeup onto, or just wants longevity in their makeup. I get such a lot longer when I use that primer. I then go in with a setting spray just to really lock in my makeup, and that for me has made a big difference in terms of the way that it wears. So if you haven't yet, if for some reason you've been living under a rock, definitely get to know that primer. Next up, I have got my all-time favorite foundation. It's the Estee Lauder 1W2 double wear foundation, and I love this so much. Again, it's my go-to. I use this daily. I mix it either with my L'Oreal True Match one if I am slightly more tanned and want something that matches my skin tone. However, if I'm at my palest, this is my go-to foundation. You can probably see there slight difference in shade as to I am at the moment, but it's just one of those that no matter what foundation I mix it with, I still get the longevity of Estee Lauder double wear. It's the best like oily skin, greasy makeup fave, and I find that again it lasts. And what I've done more recently is the makeup that just works for me, I stick to. I try not to deviate or try anything else new, which hurts my soul slightly because I used to buy so much makeup, try lots of different things, and I love that like exploration phase. But honestly, I don't have time for makeup like I used to. Getting ready of a morning is like a strict routine as opposed to like an enjoyable experience. And so I just want makeup that works well. I don't have time to take it all off if a product doesn't work. I need reliability, I need things that work, I need things that last, and this alongside the e.l.f. primer, match made in heaven. And so like I said, if you have oily or greasy skin, this is one that is definitely worth adding to your collection. I have got a mouthwash. I don't know why I threw that in here, but a mouthwash is a mouthwash, very important. I hope that my dentist watches this and knows that I take my oral hygiene very carefully. At the beginning of pregnancy, I had to fork out tons of money to get like, it was like a fill-in, but it was like a massive one. It was like instead of a crown, they managed to fill it, and like they 3D printed my tooth. I don't know. All I know is it cost a lot. And I remember him saying to me like, what is your diet? Like, you know, what's causing these issues? And for me, we come to the conclusion that pregnancy did not agree with my like oral hygiene. I don't know what happens, maybe it becomes more brittle, I don't know, but my teeth just get ruined from pregnancy. So obviously anything I can do to look after my teeth, I try to do naturally, but knowing that my bill was so expensive at a time I didn't need it to be expensive was a big concern. So I try to do everything I can to like look after my teeth. Next product is the Lacura Honey Vanilla. This is like the Laura Mercier dupe of their like bath milk, honey milk kind of thing that you run under a bath. Makes lots of bubbles. Lovely experience. I love these. I think they're normally about like £8 or something in Aldi when they have them. They come in and out of stock, and whenever they have them I buy a couple because I really enjoy the experience. Makes lots of like bubbles. It makes it feel very luxurious whilst it's not necessarily a luxurious product in terms of price, and I love that. And I think that from the people I know that have actually bought the Laura Mercier alternative, they say they're very, very comparable. I haven't tried that one myself. I couldn't bring myself to spend almost £40 on what is a bubble bath, so take that with a pinch of salt. I haven't experienced both ends of the stick. However, from an affordability point of view, I really like this and I would really recommend it. The fact you get this stick makes it feel very authentic, but sometimes I do just pour a little bit in. It completely depends on my mood and how bougie I'm feeling at the time. There are 2 makeup sponges that I am getting rid of. Both of them are from Coco Cosmetics by Chloe. The reason being is that these have been wash dried, used so many times. This one has got like holes within it. It's time to go. It's time to be replaced. Same with this one. It got so kind of like dirty that no matter how many times I washed it, there was still product inside. I was really worried about kind of mold and things, and so I decided enough was enough and we had to replace them. So the one that looks like this in a more like traditional beauty blender style, I've actually got the Claudia Kilsby version. They actually sent that to me because I order so much from her brand, so that was really appreciative. But yeah, I'm trying that one at the moment. This one I do find is slightly softer, but it's not as soft as their Shape one. I believe they've changed this since, that they before used to be different textures, whereas now they're the same. But yeah, this one was like the older version, but it's had its day. It's time to go, time to be replaced. And once this one goes and the Claudia Kilsby one is finished and I'm done with that, I will probably repurchase from Coco Cosmetics because they are really, really great. And this is like their OG Shape one, which I love for doing a quick full face. It's so quick, it's so easy to do. Like I said, this one is just broken, but it's because I've washed this. This is so well loved. I've washed it so many times, you probably couldn't tell because of the colour of it, but very well loved. I bought the 4-pack of them because I didn't want to be without them, and that's a great way to save a little bit money on them. If for some reason you have lived under a rock and you haven't tried Coco Cosmetics before, definitely do so. I love the makeup tools that they produce, create, and she's just nailed it. And I love seeing small businesses that have gone from like strength to strength, and now, you know, she's doing great. And so it's great that people have been able to be really innovative, bring out something that is genuinely really high quality. And this is how so many businesses don't understand why they're not succeeding. It's because your quality of your product is not good enough, whereas this, being their like iconic staple product, does everything you want it to do. It performs so well, and it's always been my favorite makeup sponge since I used it, and I feel like it's blown things like the beauty blender just out of the water completely, so I love that. Now there's just 4 more products to talk about. This was a Lush bath bomb. This was the comforter one. Love it so much. One of my favorite Lush scents. I will buy it time and time again. I have, speaking of Claudia Kilsby, I have another one of their lash lock systems. So that's what I have on my eyes at the moment. I do need to refresh these because they are just getting a little bit old and clumpy, but I love doing the DIY eyelashes, like those hacks. It's changed my life, especially if I've struggled with time in the morning, I've not had time to put on a makeup, I need to go and drop off on the school run. If I've got a bit of tan and my eyelashes on, even if I have my like hair up, I feel like I look a little bit more put together than if I was just washed out, pale, no eyelashes. Eyelashes to me make such a big difference, and these are the best and closest to lash extensions that I feel like you can get on the market. I love them. I feel like my eyes look very full, very dramatic, and these ones here, the reason I said I have to replace them is because I'm just getting close to 2 weeks with these ones on. Like, that just saves so much time in the morning. I love the process so much. The only ones that are still here are the 8mm ones. I just don't use them. I use the 14, 12, and then the 10s are the smallest ones I put on my inner corners. So the 8s for me just never really get used, which is a shame because it's a whole row of lashes, but I just won't use them. I prefer something a little bit more dramatic. So that are those ones. This I have from Superdrug. This is their Fruity Shower Gel, and the reason that this is amazing Oh my god, it smells like Snow Fairy from Lush. This went really viral around Christmas time because the two scents are exactly the same. This is obviously like about £1, or maybe it's gone up since then. It's a really, really affordable product if you like that smell of Snow Fairy. Even if you put it in your bath, you wash your body with it, it sticks just as well as Lush too, and obviously a fraction of the cost. I love myself a dupe. I love Lush products, I love the smell of Lush products, but if we can save money in the process, we want to do that. And so yeah, this was one that I absolutely loved for that reason. And then the last product, I'm so mad at this. This is the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder. And if you remember the hype of this years ago, it's so expensive for what it is. It was basically a contour powder that was very, very cool and helped give you like that shadow effect on your makeup. Now the reason I'm mad is not only because of the price. It was, can you see the tiny little pan? I think this was over £40. Broke my soul even back then. The reason it made me so sad is because I probably used about half, and it was like really thin in the pan because it was kind of just the way I used it. It crumbled and fell everywhere. And my heart sank knowing that that was like over £20 worth of product. So I wouldn't buy that again for this reason. It was very expensive. I don't tend to use products like this anymore anyway. I prefer to go in with just a warmer bronzer to just bring life back to my face, and less so much about the kind of shadow manipulation, because depending on the light you're in, it doesn't always look great. I prefer to go in with my Chanel bronzer, the cream one. Again, that's a very expensive product, but it's huge. You get tons in there. My husband did buy it for me for my birthday last year. And so, yeah, I'm really appreciative for him for that, because again, that kind of hurts my soul to pay for it, but now I've got it, I wouldn't be without it. Whereas this one, I never loved it from the very beginning, but now I know the behavior of the product because it was so finely milled. It's a testament to the quality of how well it was like milled and things like that. It's a very, very fine powder. However, it just crumbled to high heavens. And so if you're looking to spend money on a product that's a great contour, this for me just isn't it. So yeah, that is all of my empties this time. I feel like that was still a lot. I really had hoped that I hadn't filled it up just as much as the other time, but here we are. But with that all said and done, I will see you guys in my next video. If you enjoy empties videos, make sure you give this video a thumbs up so I know to continue making them. Let me know what your favorite products are that you have used up recently. But with that all said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.